Well, hello everybody. I'm Jerry Emge, and you know what? Have you ever had to make a move really quick where you hadn't really planned on moving as fast as circumstances are now facing you? Maybe you had a quick job change or some family disaster that is causing you to have to move very quick. It happens once in a while. In my married life, we've moved 17 times. Some of those were quicker than others, so I can kind of relate to what I'm going to talk about here. As I said, I'm Jerry Emge. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Lakes in Lake Elsinore, California. And I produce these videos on a regular basis, usually at least once a week, usually by Thursday at 10 o'clock in the morning. And you know what? I just try to share general information about real estate with everybody. I don't talk about any properties. I do no selling on any of these videos. I'm just here to share information. And hopefully, if you like my videos, give them the old thumbs up. If you get a chance, please subscribe to my channel. And if you do, you can hit the little notification bell and you'll be notified when new videos go live. I want to talk today about short notice moves. Here are maybe half a dozen or five or so things you can do to help smooth out this process a little bit, because it's kind of a shock when it happens and you can be very overwhelming very quickly. The first thing you want to do by far is simply stop and make a plan. In this plan, you should have milestones and dates about when things need to be accomplished. Take the time, take even a few days if you have to really make this plan as viable as possible. Get very organized. If you have to, make little folders for each stage of the plan or each type of event for the plan, or create a binder with tabbed sections in it so you can get as organized as possible. Believe me, this will save you a ton of time and maybe money in the long run. The second thing I want you to consider is reserve all of your third-party help, whether that's movers or by the way, always get in touch with a realtor right off the bat. Even if you don't utilize their services in a legal sort of way, you can always get good advice from them. So they can maybe help you arrange the movers you're going to need. You're going to need packers, most likely, unless you want to do all your own packing. Any travel plans you're going to have, if you're moving especially far away, you're going to want to book those airline tickets ahead of time, or vehicles you got to rent to haul stuff around. Any hotels you're going to need. And one thing people always forget is to book ahead of time any cleanup or clean out services you might need. You may have a whole lot of junk that you need to just have people haul it off to the trash. Or you may have to have your home or rental property cleaned before you turn the keys over to the landlord or whatever. So arrange that ahead of time. Don't think on the last day, gee, we need to hire a cleaner and there's just none available right that day. So do that ahead of time. The third thing you want to do is find a place to live. It's terrible to have to move twice. I understand that. In other words, it's terrible to have an interim move. But here's the thing. If you have an interim move to a short-term rental, that will then give you the time to completely search out the community you want to live in, the schools, all that sort of thing, without having to do it right up front in a rushed manner and then say, gee, I wish we'd have moved on the east side of town instead of the west side or whatever. Consider getting a month-to-month or a 6-month lease or something like that, no more than a year, to be able to settle in and kind of see the lay of the land, if you will. Here again, on that side or that end of the transaction, wherever you're moving to, get in touch with a realtor right away, even before you move there. Have them pick out some areas for you. Have them maybe even find that short-term rental. So just utilize a realtor to get that first step, to get that short-term rental, and then utilize them again when it's time to buy a house or find a long-term rental. So after you've made the plans and you've done a little bit of advance work on the new place, wherever you're going to move to, now you got to get going and start packing. Now, I always like to do it in 4 piles, if you will. Things you're going to keep, whether you move them to long-term storage or whatever, they're things you want to keep. So from where you live now to where you're going, these things are going with you one way or another. The second pile would be things you want to sell. Maybe you no longer utilize certain things. You say, might as well sell it. Consider selling it. Use a Craigslist type of online website. There's lots of them these days. You don't have to use Craig's. I'm not promoting it, but any type of website like that where you can put items on. Have a pile of things you would like to donate, either to give to schools or libraries or charitable organizations of some kind or thrift stores. Have that donate pile. And finally, have a trash pile. Guarantee you're going to have things you want to throw away, and you don't want to have the expense and aggravation of moving them, maybe even across country, only to throw them away on the other end of the country. Don't do that. If you sell things, always sell them on a first come, first served basis, and put in there that you're not going to hold it for anybody. No holds allowed. So you don't want to be holding stuff, and that just delays your time frame on everything you're trying to do in a quick manner. Finally, when you are getting to your new quarters, whatever they may be, a house that you're buying or renting or an apartment, if you think your furniture isn't going to make it there when you do, and that means if you're using even a reputable moving company, they don't always hit their targets. I know my daughter, when she moved to Ohio, it was like 6 months before she finally got her furniture. Consider, as an interim step, using a furniture rental company. There's some good ones out there. Let me just give you the names of a few. I think the number one is Cort, C-O-R-T, Cort Furniture. They rent furniture, and they'll rent it on a short-term basis and simply solve that problem for you. Another one is Brook Furniture Rental. They're a very reputable company, and they do a really good job. Another one is called Oliver Space. Check them out. Another one is Feather, F-E-A-T-H-E-R, Feather. And finally, a company called Aarons, A-A-R-O-N-S. They're especially helpful if you want to rent furniture that with the possibility of owning it later. So a rent-to-own type of furniture place. Hey, this is all I really wanted to talk about today. Thanks for watching my video. Check out my other videos. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell and like as much as you want. And until the next video, I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.